Saudi Arabia versus UAE. Let's get started. Port number 1, total area. Saudi Arabia, 2,149,690 kilometers squared. UAE, 83,600 kilometers squared. Point number 2, population. Saudi Arabia, around 39 million. UAE, around 11 million. Point number 3, GDP nominal. Saudi Arabia, about 1.1 trillion US dollars. UAE, about 570 billion US dollars. Point number 4, GDP per capita. Saudi Arabia, around 28,000 US dollars. UAE, around 50,000 US dollars. Point number 5, capital city population. Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, about 8 million. UAE, Abu Dhabi, about 1.6 million. Point number 6, number of universities. Saudi Arabia, around 40. UAE, around 30. Point number 7, international airports. Saudi Arabia, about 29. UAE, about 10. Point number 8, road network. Saudi Arabia, around 221,000 kilometers. UAE, around 18,000 kilometers. Point number 9, railway network. Saudi Arabia, around 5,300 kilometers. UAE, around 1,200 kilometers. Point number 10, coastline. Saudi Arabia, around 2,640 kilometers. UAE, around 1,318 kilometers. Point number 11, highest mountain. Saudi Arabia, Jabal Sada, 3,133 meters. UAE, Jebel Jais, 1,934 meters. Point number 12, highest building. Saudi Arabia, Makkah Royal Clock Tower, 601 meters. UAE, Burj Khalifa, 828 meters. Point number 13, oil reserves. Saudi Arabia, about 267 billion barrels. UAE, about 113 billion barrels. Point number 14, natural gas reserves. Saudi Arabia, about 9 trillion cubic meters. UAE, about 8 trillion cubic meters. Point number 15, oil production. Saudi Arabia, around 9 million barrels per day. UAE, around 3.5 million barrels per day. Point number 16, renewable energy capacity. Saudi Arabia, around 6 gigawatts. UAE, around 7 gigawatts. Point number 17, electricity generation. Saudi Arabia, around 430 terawatt hours. UAE, around 160 terawatt hours. Point number 18, internet users. Saudi Arabia, about 99%. UAE, about 100%. Point number 19, mobile connections. Saudi Arabia, around 49 million. UAE, around 21 million. Point number 20, literacy rate. Saudi Arabia, about 98%. UAE, about 99%. Life expectancy. Saudi Arabia, around 78 years. UAE, around 80 years. Point number 22, Global Innovation Index rank. Saudi Arabia, around 47th. UAE, around 32nd. Point number 23, urban population. Arabia, about 85%. UAE, about 87%. Point number 24, population density. Saudi Arabia, about 18 people per square kilometer. UAE, about 130 people per square kilometer. Point number 25, unemployment rate. Saudi Arabia, around 7%. UAE, around 3%. Point number 26, inflation rate. Saudi Arabia, around 2%. UAE, around 2%. Point number 27, foreign exchange reserves. Saudi Arabia, around 450 billion US dollars. UAE, around 210 billion US dollars. Point number 28, annual exports. Saudi Arabia, around 320 billion US dollars. UAE, around 600 billion US dollars. Point number 29, annual imports. Saudi Arabia, around 220 billion US dollars. UAE around 450 billion US dollars. Point number 30, gold reserves. Saudi Arabia about 323 tons, UAE about 75 tons. Point number 31, military budget. Saudi Arabia around 75 billion US dollars, UAE around 23 billion US dollars. Point number 32, active military personnel. Saudi Arabia around 225,000, UAE around 65,000. Point number 33, tanks. Saudi Arabia around 840, UAE around 390. Point number 34, fighter aircraft. Saudi Arabia around 250, UAE around 140. Point number 35, helicopters. Saudi Arabia around 150, UAE around 90. Point number 36, naval fleet. Saudi Arabia around 55 ships, UAE around 75 ships. Point number 37, global firepower ranking. Saudi Arabia top 25, UAE top 55. Point number 38, passport power. Saudi Arabia around 90 visa-free destinations, UAE around 180 visa-free destinations. Point number 39, international tourists. Saudi Arabia around 30 million, UAE around 19 million. Point number 40, UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Saudi Arabia 8, UAE 1. Point number 41, FIFA ranking. Saudi Arabia around 58th, UAE around 65th. Point number 42, Olympic gold medals. Saudi Arabia 2, UAE 1. Point number 43, total Olympic medals. Saudi Arabia 4, UAE 2. Point number 44, FIFA World Cup appearances. Saudi Arabia 7, UAE 1. Point number 45, World Happiness Rank. Saudi Arabia around 32nd, UAE around 21st. Point number 46, annual rainfall. Saudi Arabia around 60 millimeters, UAE around 100 millimeters. Point number 47, CO2 emissions per capita. Saudi Arabia around 18 tons, around 20 tons. Point number 48, skyscrapers over 150 meters. Saudi Arabia around 25, UAE around 60. Point number 49, largest shopping mall. Saudi Arabia, Mall of Arabia, UAE, Dubai Mall. Point number 50, largest stadium capacity. Saudi Arabia around 68,000 seats, UAE around 44,000 seats. Thanks for watching. Which country do you think performed better overall, Saudi Arabia or the UAE? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to US Data Zone, and turn on notifications for more exciting data comparison videos.